Fortune Cookies Tarot. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. And in this video, we're doing 2 for Tuesday, and we're going to look at the King's response and the rest of the Royals' response to the Andrew situation, specifically that William and Catherine and the Duke of Edinburgh gave statements that said we need to remember the victims. We'll be right back with part 1. Welcome, my Tarot Maniacs. Back by popular demand. We're doing 2 for Tuesday again because you guys missed it. So I didn't think you guys liked it that much, but everyone's like, oh, what happened to 2 for Tuesday? So today we're going to look at Charles, King Charles, versus the rest of the royals in terms of the Andrew situation. And remember, this is rehearsal for the Harry situation. So we're going to see what's happening with this. But recently, the Duke of Edinburgh and the Prince and Princess of Wales issued statements about the Andrew situation and specified we need to remember the victims at this time. So I want to look at how both of those parties are looking at it. In video 1, we're going to look at King Charles. So let's get to it. So we're looking at the Andrew issue. And I'm going to make this nice and big so you guys can see it here. Nice and big. Nice and big. I'll mark out where we can go here. So today we're looking at the Andrew problem specifically through King Charles's lens. We're not looking for emotion. We're not looking for outrage. Containment, duty, and institutional survival are no doubt at the top of the list for this particular monarch. We're not defending Andrew. It's about understanding how the king thinks when the crown is at risk. So before we get into this reading's not about litigating the alleges, the allegations, the suppositions, and it's certainly not about minimizing the victims of this whole kerfuffle. King Charles is not operating as a brother in some circumstances. He's operating as the head of state, or at least he should be. So let's see what is going on here in regard to Prince Andrew today, February 9th, 2026. Can you believe it? What is King Charles' primary concern with Andrew? This is going to tell us a lot, guys. So if we see cups here, it's going to be more familial. If we see pentacles, it's going to be more institutional. What do we got? 5 of candles. That tells me there is a lot of conflicting emotions and excitement about this. We've got a lot of conflict. With whom? Who is the biggest concern for the king right now in this kerfuffle? Justice in reverse. It's really, when we're looking at the justice card, we're looking at the court of public opinion and the actual court system. So that is his biggest concern, how this looks. What is his strategy? 10 of quills. He's trying not to resolve this, guys. What's the outcome he's aiming for? That they have a template. This is the Hermit card, that they have a template for situations should they come up in the future. Is he looking more for a proactive template? 4 of quills. Yes, proactive template so that they don't have to deal with that 3 of swords again. So, interesting. How is King Charles? concerned about Andrew? How is he concerned about Andrew? Is it as a monarch or is it as a man? 3 of biscuits. If he could distance himself professionally from Andrew, he would. What about family-wise? Family-wise too. He would really distance himself from his brother. Does the king consider Andrew contagion for the royal family? Now, this he considers Andrew very immature. It is against his better judgment to be doing this. And I do think that he is functioning in the stead of the late Queen Elizabeth. I do believe that the late Queen Elizabeth has asked him to protect his brother at all costs. Is his resolve weakening on that front? The Hermit, 10 of candles. This last drop was a bridge too far for our monarch here. It was a bridge too far. And I think he says there's really nothing that we can do at this point. We just have to heal as best we can from this point on. Will the king issue a statement about the victims, a la the Duke of Edinburgh, who was somewhat taken by surprise when that question was asked from the press pool? But William and Catherine have issued a statement on their way to the Middle East. So will the king issue a statement about the victims soon? A softly worded statement, but I do not think that the V word will ever come out of his mouth. I don't think he wants to acknowledge that there were V words in this whole situation. I think he is really reluctant to brand some of those young women as the V word. This is going to be troubling for King Charles. Definitely troubling and not an easy outcome. Is this particular situation affecting the king's health in the moment? All this V wording, is it affecting the king's health in the moment? No, he is being very careful. He's avoiding Andrew. I think as long as Andrew is not at his table or in his immediate vicinity, he's okay. He is not super stressed. He can compartmentalize that and leave Andrew over on Marsh Farm or wherever he is right now and just kind of forget about him. So let's rename Marsh Farm Oubliette Farm and we'll call it a day. But guys, stick around because we are going to have a second video. The second video is going to be a little bit longer than this one because we got a lot of different personalities to unpack in that one. So stick around. Second video is coming in just a little bit. But if you're a member of this channel, you can watch all of them as soon as I load them up into the system. So thank you so much for being here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in part 2 in the comments. And I will also see you a little bit later on today because we're going to do a double header live where I do my members only live and then we go into a general audience live. So I will see you guys in there where I answer questions that you may have. So talk to you in just a little bit.